Just like the previous, he died with my name on his lips, unclothed, alone, and face frozen in a smile. All I wanted is to feel loved. But every time I gave my body to someone else, they go beneath the earth. It was until the third man goes that I realized I wasn't the one being punished. Someone was making sure I stayed faithful, and that someone sleeps beside me every night. Friends, today we bring you a true and deeply emotional story. A story so powerful it might just leave you speechless. It will shake you to your core and make you wonder, can something like this really happen? So we request you to watch this video till the very end. If it touches your heart, don't forget to give it a like. And if you are new here, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more contents like this. This is not just a story. This is a wound that still bleeds and whispers. Now let's begin this unbelievable journey. I've been married to Martin for 11 years. People think we're the perfect couple. Big house in Brisbane, no money problems, a quiet life. But what they don't see is the silence between us. Martin stopped loving me a long time ago. We don't fight. We don't talk. We don't touch. He comes home, eats, watches the news, and sleeps. Not once has he looked at me the way a man should look at his wife. So when I met Darren, it felt like air after drowning. He was kind, playful. He touched my hand and made my stomach flip, something Martin hadn't done in years. One Friday, when Martin was on a business trip, I met Darren at his apartment. We made love. It wasn't wild or dirty, it was gentle, emotional. I cried in his arms afterward, and he kissed my tears. I see you, he whispered. 3 days later, Darren was found dead in his bed. Heart failure, they said. He was 39. Fit. Played tennis. No signs of sickness. My stomach dropped when I heard the news. But I told myself it was a coincidence. Bad luck. Nothing more. Until it happened again. Tom was next. He ran a small bakery near my job. I used to stop there for coffee. We started talking, then texting. He invited me over on a rainy night. We cooked dinner, drank wine, and kissed in his kitchen. It felt safe. We ended up in bed. He was warm and slow, and I felt alive again. 4 days later, I saw his face on the news. Local bakery owner found dead in his sleep. No signs of struggle. No trauma. Just gone. My knees gave out. I fell to the floor, gasping. That night, I locked myself in the bathroom and cried for hours. I remembered how his chest rose and fell next to me. How he kissed my shoulder as I left. 2 men. 2 lovers. 2 dead bodies. Both died days after sleeping with me. I didn't tell anyone, not even my closest friend. Who would believe me? I started Googling things like doomed lovers, cursed intimacy, people dying after cheating. The answers were all myths and ghost stories. But this was happening. To me. I swore off cheating. Cold turkey. I started avoiding men, cutting off every friendly text and DM. I focused on work, home, and nothing else. Martin didn't notice a thing. Still distant. Still cold. Still not a single. How was your day? But then one morning while doing laundry, I found something hidden in the lining of his old coat. A notebook. I don't know why I opened it. Maybe I felt something wasn't right. Inside were handwritten names. First names only. Darren. Tom. Another I didn't recognize. Each name had a date next to it, dates matching exactly when they died. My breath caught in my throat. I flipped through the pages, heart racing. At the very back, a single line in red ink. One more mistake and she will learn. I dropped the notebook and backed away like it had burned me. That night I couldn't sleep. I stared at Martin as he lay beside me, breathing slow, steady. I whispered, "Did you kill them?" He didn't move. But I swear, I saw the corner of his lips twitch. Like a smile. I needed answers. So I found someone. A woman my coworker once mentioned. A mystic. People said she sees things. Her shop was behind a used bookstore, hidden in plain sight. The lights were low, smelled like ash and old roses. I sat across from her. She didn't ask my name. She looked into my eyes and said, "He's not what he seems, is he?" I froze. "I think I'm cursed," I whispered. She leaned forward, resting her fingers on mine. "You are not cursed," she said softly. "You are being protected. It's not you taking their lives. It's your husband, and he is not human." The words echoed in my ears long after I left the mystic's place. "It's not you. It's your husband, and he is not human." I drove in silence. My hands were shaking on the wheel. My lips numb. Not human. What did that even mean? I wanted to believe she was crazy. I wanted to think she was just saying things for money. But deep down, I knew. Something in Martin had always felt off. That night I watched him sleep again. Same spot. Same deep breathing. Same blank expression. But now I noticed things I hadn't before. He never really moved in his sleep. He never dreamed. He never sweated even in the heat. In 11 years he never got sick. Not once. No cold, no flu, no fever. Ever. I remembered when my mom died. I cried for days. Martin just sat there, dry-eyed, unbothered. When I told him I might want a baby one day, he said, "You'll outgrow that. Not we, just you." The next day I went back to the mystic. I needed answers. I sat down, leaned forward and whispered, "Tell me everything." She didn't hesitate. "Your husband is one of the old ones," she said. "Not a ghost. Not a vampire. Not a demon. Something older. Rare. Cold as stone but clever as man. They feed off control. They don't love, they own." I couldn't breathe. "He picked you carefully," she added. "He saw your loneliness before you even knew it." I felt sick. Why is he killing them? Why not just kill me? She stared hard into my face. Then she said, "Because he still wants you. But only on his terms. You can live, Yvonne. Or you can be free, but never both." I went home shaking. Martin was in the kitchen slicing fruit. He smiled at me like nothing had happened. His hands never trembled. His eyes were too still. He handed me a glass of orange juice. "Long day." I nodded. Friends, if you have watched to this extent, please kindly like this video and hit on the notification button for more stories like this. He stared into my eyes. "You look pale. Maybe rest. You know I worry when you don't sleep." That night I made a plan. I packed a bag and left it hidden in the garage. Cash, phone, extra keys. I contacted an old friend who lived 2 towns over and said I might need to crash soon. I even started sleeping in my clothes just in case I needed to run. But then, I slipped. James was a stranger. A tourist. Passing through town. We met at the grocery store. He was kind, flirted gently, and I couldn't stop myself. I just wanted to feel human. I told myself just one kiss. One night. No one will know. But I knew the pattern. And still I let it happen. The next morning I begged James to leave town early. I told him I had a crazy husband. I even gave him cab money. He left. 2 days later I saw his name in the news. American tourist found dead in motel room. No signs of trauma. No drugs. No wounds. Just gone. I screamed into my pillow. My head ached. My body shook. I ran to the garage, grabbed the bag and drove. Fast. No plan, just speed. But 5 minutes from town the engine cut. Dead. Silence. My phone? No signal. I stepped out of the car and my blood ran cold. Martin was standing in the middle of the road. Calm. Not sweating. Not angry. Just there. He walked to my window and knocked. I couldn't move. He opened the door slowly. "I told you once, Yvonne," he said softly. "I don't like sharing." I woke up back in bed. My clothes changed. My phone gone. Martin beside me reading a book. He didn't look at me, just turned the page and said, "You are mine, Yvonne. That's the only truth you need to remember. I don't want to hurt you, but if you keep running, I will be left with no choice." I didn't sleep that night. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling. I was trapped, not by chains or locks but by fear. Every man I tried to love was killed. Every attempt to leave was blocked. Martin wasn't just punishing me. He was making an example of me. A warning to any man who touched what belonged to him. I stopped counting the days after that. Martin never locked the doors. Never hit me. Never yelled. But I couldn't leave. Not because I wasn't allowed, because I was too afraid of what would happen if I did. Every man I tried to love outside this marriage had been killed. Every escape plan I made was erased, like he could read my thoughts. He wasn't a man. Not really. And now I was sure of it. I started studying him. He didn't blink when startled. He could hold his breath for minutes like he wasn't even human. He had no family, no childhood photos, no past. He just appeared in my life 11 years ago. And now he watched everything. My emails. My phone. Even my reflection. I swear I saw his face behind me once in the mirror when he wasn't in the room. I couldn't keep living like this. I needed a way out. Not just to run. To end it. I remembered what the mystics said. You can live, or you can be free. But never both. So I called her. One last time. She agreed to meet in secret. A new location. No names. Just answers. We met near the river at dusk. She brought a small black box. Inside was a white powder, a symbol I didn't understand, and a silver blade. She placed the box in my hands. He feeds on betrayal, but he also fears it, she said. To weaken him, you must betray him fully. And then you must choose. Take his life or let him take you forever. I drove home shaking. Martin was in the kitchen again, slicing apples like always. He looked up. Out late. I forced a smile. Needed some air. He walked to me and kissed my cheek. Cold. Dry. Mechanical. I let him lead me to bed. And that night, I made love to him for the first time in years. It wasn't passion. It was a trap. Because while he slept, I slipped the blade under my pillow. At 3:12 a.m. I woke up. His eyes were already open, watching me. He whispered, "You betrayed me again." I pulled the blade and swung. He caught it midair, no effort at all. I screamed. He pushed me down face close. But then the symbol on the blade began to glow. His hand started to burn. He dropped it and staggered back, his eyes changing, black as coal, glowing at the edges. His voice wasn't his anymore. You think love makes you strong? I made you feel something. They only used you. I stood holding the powder in my shaking hand. I wasn't trying to be loved, I said. I was trying to be free. And I threw it in his face. He roared louder than thunder and the walls shook. I ran, I didn't look back. I don't remember how I got outside, only that the air burned my lungs and my heart felt like it would explode. I woke up in the hospital. They said I'd collapsed on the street. Dehydrated. Exhausted. No signs of violence. Martin was gone. Just vanished. His clothes, car photos. All wiped clean. No one had ever met him. Not my coworkers. Not my doctor. Not even the mystic. She disappeared too. It was like he'd never existed. Now it's been 4 months. I live in a small flat by the sea. I don't talk much. I don't date. Sometimes I dream of him standing at the foot of my bed. Other times I wake up gasping, thinking I hear him say my name from the shadows. I don't know if he's dead or waiting, but I do know this. Every time I gave my love to the wrong man, I paid the price, and in the end, the scariest thing wasn't the curse. It was the way I kept going back to Simeon, who never loved me at all. Broken heart, sometimes we think we're cursed. But really, we're just loving the wrong person. Loudspeaker if you ever feel trapped in a relationship that drains your soul. Listen to your gut. It might just save your life. What would you have done if you were Yvonne? Like this if you felt the chills. Share it with someone who loves dark romantic thrillers. Subscribe for more soul-shaking, emotional true stories. Thanks for watching.